Hello everyone, my name is Idiotic Synergy and today we're talking about Goliath Maulers. Now, I've already talked about them in one of my older videos during the summertime skirmish reveals, and it was with a whole bunch of other reveals. The video wasn't that great and honestly should have done it separately. However, the Goliath Maulers deserve their own video because, look at them, they are big thick men ready to ram anyone that you want. So, with that being said, these are the vehicles, and honestly, they're pretty cool bikes. And the amount of times I've seen people use these bikes for orc conversions is a lot. These are prime orky conversion bikes. These are brilliant for orcs. If you're an orc player, go at it. Just kit bash to your heart contents. But even if you're not, and even if you want to use them properly for Necromunda, they are still pretty cool looking vehicles. In fact, they are both tired. They have tyres, that's why I said tired, not tired as in sleepy. And they have also got tank tracks here, so they are a hybrid vehicle, but cool, unlike the new hybrid vehicles nowadays where it's electric and petrol. Ooh! Yes, this is a really cool hybrid vehicle, and I like it. I like it a lot. The weapons they have, it says a choice of guns, but really there's only two. In fact, it says down here that they have got, should say somewhere down here, I hope. Yes, it says here. Twin-linked bolters or twin-linked grenade launchers. Now, obviously, with it being me, I highly recommend you use the grenade launchers, just because blast markers, and I love grenade launchers, but the bolters are a good shout as well. But we'll get into the actual rules of the vehicle itself. But it doesn't mention what guns they can take that clearly, so that's why I had to mention what guns they take now. And honestly, sorry, these are a really cool vehicle. In fact, my favourite variant, because you can build them however you want, my favourite variant out of the two is probably the one with the gears instead of wheels, because I think this is more menacing. There is something more terrifying about seeing massive choppy blades coming at you than just tyre. I mean, granted, it has spikes as well, but unless you know, you're not going to get skewered by them. You're going to get flattened by this, but you aren't going to get skewered by them. With this, however, you're going to get cut in ribbons, and it's painful. And yeah, they are brilliant vehicles, and I like the drivers as well. There is a little bit of customization you can give the drivers if you so desire. It is a really solid vehicle, really solid choice, and I highly recommend you take them if you want. Because when it comes to vehicles, there's all sorts of vehicles you can bring in Necromunda. However, this is a gang-specific vehicle, which must be nice. I'm not saying anything, but my god, I really wish other gangs had gang-specific vehicles. I want enforcers to have bikes, just because it'd be like Judge Dredd. I want them to have Judge Dredd bikes. That's all I want, is Judge Dredd bikes, then I'll just run enforcers again, but with Judge Dredd bikes, it'd be so cool. Anyway, I'm gonna have to show you the rules, aren't I? Yeah, let's just get into them. Yeah, I'm gonna jump cut. I don't know what else I was gonna say there. My apologies. But, you know, rules are rules. We have to look at them. So, this is the vehicle, and it is 125 credits. It's 100 credits for the vehicle, but to have a crew, you need to spend an extra 25 creds for the crew. Obviously, you can get better crew, you can upgrade them. It is Necromunda. You're not really limited. However, you sort of need a crew to have vehicles in game, otherwise it just sits there. And no one likes that. So, yeah, it's 125 creds. And the stats for them, I mean, it ain't bad. I've seen worse. I have seen worse. I mean, to be fair, I could be completely wrong. It always seems the case in my Necromunda videos where I'm always wrong about something, but you know what, it's Necromunda. Not everyone is going to know absolutely everything. But there's just so many rules. It's hard to remember all of them. But movement 7, front arc is 5, which is very nice, especially because of the power ram ability, but I'll get into that in just a short minute. The side arc is 4, rear arc is 4, meaning that, you know, toughness 4, but the front arc is 5. It does mean, though, it's the same toughness as an Ogren. So this big old vehicle, as tough as an Ogren, which is really reliable. Wounds 3, which is quite nice. Handling 5, that ain't bad. I've seen people complain about that. Honestly, it really ain't that bad, because you get 2 dice. As long as you roll over or equal to a 5 on 2 dice, you're fine. You are absolutely fine. And, of course, you can upgrade the handling so it's slightly better than, you know, shit. But yeah, handling 5 ain't that bad. Always count your blessings in this game. Always. The basic save is a 5, which you might go, oh, that's terrible. But remember, it is front arc 5 or side arc 4. So your opponent, unless they're using plasma or some other weird and wacky weapon, they are wounding you on 5s and 6s most of the time. And some people do get confused because they think, oh, what happens if we just target the crew? You can't do that. Yeah, you have to rely on the dice for wounding, which is very complicated for no good reason. Basically, whenever you wound a vehicle, you need to get more dice. And it tells you what sort of shot it was, whether it was a catastrophic, a direct, or glancing shot, and what part of the vehicle it was. So would that be the crew, the engine, or the body? It's needlessly complex. The wounding on vehicles is stupid, and I love that, because my little quad bike, for the longest time, was just shot to shit, right? But for some unknown reason, glancing shots. That's all it would suffer, would be glancing shots. Plasma shot into the quad bike? Oh no, it wounded me. Just glanced the engine though, so I'm fine. Or glanced the body, or just glanced the crew. I don't understand how my little quad bike was so tough. I don't understand it, but it's so janky, and that's why I love this goddamn game. But anyway, crew ballistic skill 4. Like I said, your weapons are grenade launcher, which allows you to use blast templates, and there is something innately funny about using blast templates. I love my templates. I hope they're... I want them for 10th edition. I want a return of blast templates. Just let my flamers be dumb. But yeah, ballistic skill 4 might not sound appealing, but your crew is cheap and it does the job, so you can't really complain. Leadership 8, which doesn't matter, you're in a vehicle. Cool check 5, willpower 9, intelligence 8. Not the best stats, but again, very cheap crew. So, there's that. Now, the type of vehicle is hybrid drive, meaning it's wheeled and tracked, so you're quite good at, you know, being a vehicle. It's quite good at being a vehicle. You don't need to worry about anything, because it's wheeled and tracked. You're fine. That's it, you're just fine. Oh dear. If you want a little tip from me, when choosing your vehicle, don't choose walkers, because you can have anti-grav, you can have wheeled, you can have tracked, or you can have walkers, you know, like sentinels. Don't choose them. For the love of God, don't. It's just terrible. Nobody likes walkers. They are really unreliable, and they can get knocked over incredibly easy. Don't be dumb. Choose something solid and reliable like wheels or tank tracks is probably your best bet. Anyway, upgrade slots. There is quite a few upgrade slots. 2 for the body, so you can make it even tougher, more resilient, which is always quite nice. And the reason it says 2 is that's the amount of upgrades you can have. So 2 to the body, 1 to the drive, and 1 to the engine. That is quite good. Oh, and yeah, that is very good and quite nice. And also you can upgrade the crew once, because, yeah, it's only 1 crew. Now, power ram. Oh, I'm gonna get into you one day, you fucking Orlok gang wankers. Sorry. It's just... I don't mean to be mean about Orlocks, but they really are the Ultramarines of Necromunda. They're just... You can't hate them because they're not terrible, but they're not bad either. And there's nothing really defining about them. But the lore about them's quite interesting. But they're just there. They're a really good beginner's gang. And when done properly, they're really terrifying in late game Necromunda as well. They are a solid gang, but they're not... I don't want to say they're not interesting because their lore is quite interesting and one of their bounty hunters is just one of my favourites. But he hasn't got a model yet, which is a shame. It's the jankiest bounty hunter alive and I love him. But I'll get into that when there's a model revealed about him. So I won't let you know who it is. He's got the ability Drunk. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. He can be drunk and it's really silly. So, Power Ram. Improve the strength, AP, and damage by 2 for vehicle impacts involving this vehicle's front arc. Now, when you ram into someone or a vehicle, your toughness is against someone else's toughness. And that helps with, you know, determining who's more damaged and God knows what. But because of Power Ram, with the front arc, that's strength 7, AP minus 2, damage 2. Against vehicles and people. I have seen this vehicle go through many a Delac gang member. There was someone playing Delac against a Goliath gang and they had this vehicle. The Delac gang didn't have a chance at all. In Ash Wastes, the Delac gang aren't that bad, but you put this vehicle and you ram it into them, it's just sad. It really is. It was like watching just a massacre on the board next to me, just seeing, oh, what happened there? Oh, my leader's dead. Why, what happened? The Power Ram. Oh, what's your strength? What's your toughness? Toughness 3. What's his strength? Strength 7. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, mate. Oh, dear. That was a fun game to see. Oh, there's something really fun about ramming vehicles. I mean, you can even use your little quad bike to ram into people and win. Even though the quad bike isn't really designed for that. Oh dear, I once took out one of those. What vehicle was it? I'm gonna see. It was. I think it was not a Ridge Runner, a rock grinder with a quad bike. I rammed it into them. And my little quad bike. Now, granted, it was on 1 wound, and I got really lucky with my dice. But just the idea of like little quad bike killing rock grinder was funny. Such a stupid game. I mean, my quad bike died in the impact, sure, but it also killed the rock grinder. So who really won? Such a stupid fucking game. Anyway, it really is. I highly recommend you play Necromunda. Just even if you don't play a campaign, just play a one-off game. There is something so fun about playing Necromunda. Just do me a favour and don't pick a gang that you end up hating because that will ruin your experience. Play a gang that you personally want to see and think, you know, it's fun. That's why I'm doing Cawdor Redemptionists and regular Cawdor and Nurgle Ogren because Nurgle Ogren's funny. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I've been Idiotic Synergy, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Take care, stay safe, and look after each other. Bye for now.